In the bright summer sun of Norway's Trysil River Valley, the vast blue sky reflects off the crystal clear, cold water. Eric and Laura rowed a small wooden boat along the river, enjoying the calm morning they had never seen before. On both banks, rows of tall pine trees stretch endlessly, creating a scene that is both wild and strangely peaceful. A gentle breeze blew through, causing the water surface to ripple slightly, reflecting soft, silken rays of sunlight falling onto each ripple. Little did they know that the next moment would set off a touching journey and change their lives forever. From downstream, the water surface suddenly moved unusually strongly as if a large creature was disrupting the calm flow. Eric looked up and immediately noticed a dark brown shape speeding towards their boat. Just seconds later, the clear shape of an adult brown bear emerged, causing both of them to be extremely terrified. Its massive body cut through the water powerfully, each stroke causing the small boat to rock ominously. Laura panicked and retreated inside, her hands unconsciously gripping the edge of the boat as a survival instinct. Eric immediately turned towards the giant creature, clutching the oar in his hand as his only defense. However, the bear did not appear aggressive or have any intention of attacking, completely contrary to their fears. Its eyes were tired but deep, and every movement showed an incomprehensible heaviness. As it approached the boat, the bear slowed down, as if hesitating before proceeding. Only then did they see what it had been trying to hold in its mouth all the while swimming over. As the bear opened its mouth, a tiny, wet cub emerged, its little paws clutching desperately at its mother's fur. The mother bear struggled to raise her head, pointing her cub towards Laura as if she was desperately begging for help. Laura's eyes widened, almost in disbelief that a wild animal would entrust its young to a human so suddenly. Eric still held the oar in his hand, his eyes tensely watching the adult bear's every move. The mother bear let out a weak, low groan that was completely at odds with her powerful build. Instinct made Laura reach forward, even though she was still trembling with fear and emotion. When her hand touched the bear cub, the little creature immediately snuggled into her arms for warmth. At that moment, the mother bear released her jaws, allowing Laura to hold the cub in her arms. It looked at the couple with sad eyes but filled with trust as the only message left. Eric gritted his teeth and remained defensive, though he could sense something was wrong with the mother bear. The large bear began to back away, breathing heavily and clearly in severe exhaustion. Just one stroke later, it let itself go with the cold current as if it had exhausted all its last strength. Both were stunned to see the mother bear's body turn sideways, revealing a large, bloody wound under her belly. The clear water was instantly dyed a light red, forming a thin streak that drifted away with the flow. Eric cried out in despair, trying to reach out to the bear, but he was too far away to do anything useful. Laura stood still, holding the bear cub close to her as it shivered with each crash of the waves. In just a few short seconds, the mother bear's head sank completely into the water, leaving the river surface eerily calm. The surrounding space suddenly became suffocatingly silent, only the sound of the cold wind passing through the tall pine trees remained. The couple understood that the mother bear used her last breath to bring her cub to a safer place. That sacrifice made them choke up, making them more determined to protect the little creature trembling in their hearts. Laura immediately opened her backpack and took out a thick towel to wrap around the cub, trying to give it warmth in the freezing cold air. The baby bear was breathing weakly but its eyes were half open, searching for human scent like a newborn baby. Eric quickly rowed the boat towards shore, his heart still pounding from the horror he had just witnessed. They ran to the local veterinary station near Trysil Forest, attracting the attention of everyone around. Veterinarians were surprised to find themselves carrying a bear cub that had just escaped death from the freezing water. The doctor immediately examined it, dried it, listened to its heartbeat, and used a heating pad to stabilize its body temperature. Initial results showed the cub was completely healthy, just cold and slightly malnourished. Laura burst into tears of relief, while Eric sighed as if he had just put down a burden that had been weighing him down for many minutes. The doctor said the rescue center is temporarily overloaded and needs someone to care for the cubs for the first few weeks. Eric and Laura looked at each other for a long time, both understanding what they wanted to convey without needing to say it out loud. They decided to temporarily adopt the bear cub, affectionately naming it Noro after the mountain range where they were staying. The little bear snuggled into Laura's arms, as if finding new warmth after the great loss of its life. In the early days, they fed Noro warm milk from a small bottle, and after each drink, she curled up and fell asleep in Laura's arms. Just a few weeks later, Noro was more alert, enjoying exploring the small backyard of their home. Laura taught it to stand on its hind legs and practice balancing on logs placed in the middle of the yard. Eric feeds Noro fresh fish, honey, and berries every morning to help it gain weight faster. Noro's figure changed every day, her fur thickened and her eyes became brighter and sharper. It always trots after Eric whenever he works outside, creating an indescribably humorous scene. At night, Noro curls up by the fireplace and sleeps like a child who has found a new family. Laura often sat beside it and petted it, feeling the strange bond between human and the little wild creature. 6 months later, Noro has grown tremendously, standing tall and with a strong, energetic body. Still, its natural instincts began to rise, especially when it looked at the green forest in the distance. Eric understood that Noro needed to return to nature, where its wild bloodline was born and nurtured. Laura felt it too, though her heart did not easily accept the upcoming separation. They decided to contact the Trisel Reserve Rangers to find a suitable environment for Noro to grow up. Although heartbroken, they knew this was the right move to help Noro have a better future. That evening, the three of them gathered around the fireplace one last time, like a real small family before parting. The next morning, they took Noro to a sanctuary where other wild bears lived in the vast Trisel forest. The rangers welcomed them warmly and thanked them for 6 months of dedicated care that few could provide. Noro was taken to a natural rehabilitation area where he could learn to readapt to life in the wild. Before entering the forest, Noro turned to look at Laura and Eric with a familiar gaze that left them speechless. Laura covered her mouth with her hand, trying to hold back tears as she watched the little creature she had once held emerge from the cold water. Eric placed his hand on his wife's shoulder, nodding slightly as a reassurance that everything they did was for Noro's future. The summer sunlight shone on Noro's brown fur as it slowly walked into the forest, now confident and strong. The couple stood silently watching, knowing that they had completed the greatest gift for a poor creature.